I walked past the partner's office and she said, "Hey, I have some great news, here's some work." I walked by another partner's office and he said, "We have no work for you, we have to let you go." And I said, "But I just got a project." And he said, "Oh, that's much better." And that's the day, that's the day I started on Up Council with my business. I decided I could no longer depend on the traditional job market for financial stability or emotional stability. I mean, it was a roller coaster.
I was 18. I wasn't making quite enough money for myself. So I started working with a app-based job called HomeJoy. And so HomeJoy, it provided me, a lot of money. I loved it. After that, I started Googling. I would Google jobs like HomeJoy.
When I moved to California, I started my Etsy shop, Duet Vintage. And at the time, I was working part-time at a clothing store and, loved what I was doing so much and had so much passion for it. I did it in all of my free time. Nights, weekends were spent collecting vintage, photographing it, modeling it, fixing it, shipping it, and I couldn't spend enough time on it. So eventually I quit my job after working out the math that hopefully the hours that I was putting in during my part-time job were going to translate to making enough to survive on. And it did, and for 2 years, that is how I made my income. After those 2 years, I realized that I was craving the social interaction that you don't get when you're working at home alone every day. So I sought out part-time employment. So I'm working part-time at a vintage clothing store. This is clearly what I'm passionate about.
In between that time of July and November, I started to drive Lyft. So that was one of the ways in which I supplemented income, but I only did it when I needed to. So I didn't do it all the time. I only did it when I felt like I needed to pay a bill, or I felt like I wanted to go on a trip or something.